everyone, welcome to this playthrough for Pro Division in the Christmas tournament. The video here is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. And before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also visit golfclashtommy.com for more Golf Clash related content. You can also get the ultimate tips guys for tournament by subscribing to patreon.com/golfclashtommy. I know this come a little bit late, but I wanted to get it out there just as soon as I get home from Christmas celebration. So in the end, make sure that you take a good look. There is some good stuff in this playthrough, and I truly hope it's going to help your game. Make sure that you comment in the comment section below if you do have any questions. Merry Christmas, and let's go. For hole number 1 here in Pro, we're going to start with the drive. 4.5 bar topspin and as much side spin to the right possible. And I play with a katana. This because I want to put myself into maximum distance, and then I don't have to do anything else more than focusing hitting perfect. Maximum distance is the club reference combined with a 10% over adjustment. And this drive with 4.5 bar topspin is going to get us into a very nice distance, which is going to be as much as 349. From 349, you play the second shot in between minimum and medium distance. 4 bars of backspin, ball guideline slightly through the hole, and then we're going to play with a minus 10% adjustment. For those of you playing with a slider, like in an application, you put it at 25%. Then it's going to be the same type of thing as minimum/medium distance with a minus 10% elevation, obviously. Thorn here as a club, and then in the end, this is and must be an eagle. For those of you that do not feel comfortable laying up, or you might hit a lot of great shots and just want to gamble getting the ball to green and then just take it from there. Then we're going to play 4.5 bar topspin and then approximately 75% of a ball in curl out to the right and as much side spin to the right possible, combined with a berserker ball. Then we're going to go max overpower, and our plan is to bounce into the rough, roll out to the green. There is obviously a risk with this shot here in the end, where, you know, if you hit a bad shot, you're going to get yourself into the rough or into the sand or something like that. And in the end, I prefer layup because it's going to give you consistency. But once again, you need to hit perfect with your approach, otherwise you won't get that one in the hole. For hole number 2, I'm going to play to the right side, and this might surprise some of you, but I'm going to play right side because I do have a pretty nice approach that we're going to look towards in a bit. 4.5 bar topspin, I put myself there up into maximum distance with a power 3 ball, which is a Titan ball. Maximum distance plus 10%. Then in the end, now I push up to max, but be really aware of that if you do have a driver that has more distance than my extra mile level 7 here, you cannot push it up to max because then you're going to clip the rough and then you're gonna be dead, or at least you're not gonna get the eagle. We're getting it down there on the fairway, leaving yourself up with a rough bump. Yes, 4.5 bar topspin. And then we're going to put ourselves letting the ball guideline go through the hole. 4.5 bar topspin, 4.5 bar side spin to the left. And now we need to play this one under adjusted. Super weird, but yes, we're going to play it minus 10% and medium distance with this type of setup. Now I only use 0. I don't use the minus 10% here, so I'm playing this one without elevation. You can see my result here is that I'm gonna miss this one 1.5 green square to the left of the pin, but having a nice roll, having a nice ball guideline, so the rough bump is the play there. What to do if you don't have 4.5 bar topspin on your sniper? Then you play a normal shot bouncing on the fairway, going towards the pin instead. So it's not going to be dead just because you don't get the rough bump, but it's a nice little approach, which I do believe is the best way for us making an albatross from distance. Okay, so now you're going to see two approaches. We're going to start by playing with the sniper, and now we're focusing on the number that is on top, 20% over adjustment. I do play this one with almost a 3 bars top spin, and I play with 2 bars side spin to the left, leaving the ball guideline to be approximately 1 green square to the left of the pin. Playing this far away and playing with topspin will sometimes get you into a position where you are going to get a little glitch by the fringe. Now you can see I do adjust my rings the opposite direction, like I'm pushing my rings to south. That is because of the hill and the trees that makes it almost impossible to be accurate. Then I play maximum distance even though I'm not in maximum distance. And you can see my ball getting a little glitch there by the fringe and taking all types of speed getting it in the hole. It would have been a nice one even without getting the speed. And obviously happy to get that one in the hole. So we do have the line there with a sniper, but I do not really feel comfortable when it comes to playing with a sniper that far away. So, okay, who am I then to look for a more aggressive route? We play with 5 side spin to the right and 2.5 bar backspin with the quarterback. Have in mind that you can play this one and hit great right, great left, and you will still clip the rough. That is very important. But I do play for the tip of the rough there to make sure that I'm not going to adjust down into the sand. Very important. And now we're focusing on the second number. We play this one maximum distance plus 10. Now in this example I play max plus 20. And using the spin, as I said, 5 side spin to the right, 2.5 bar backspin, and we are reconnecting. It clips the rough nicely, rolls nicely in here towards the pin, and we miss there to the left. So very important, and I would also like to suggest for that adjustment, try to push your rings instead of pulling, because the trees there might be very tricky for you there. I do feel that hole number 3 though is going to be a very good opportunity for us making an hole in one. Okay, for hole number 4, we get another lovely opportunity, and I would say that this hole is, in my book, at least a must. Now, look, I play with a Thor's hammer level 6, but I only use 6 bars of topspin, and that is what I want us to look for. If you do play with an X-Mile 8, you have 6 bars topspin. Thor's hammer 5, and you have Apocalypse level 3 even, you get 6 bars of topspin. But if you don't have any club of that, play with a big topper, but then play with a power 4 or a power 5 ball to compensate for the loss of distance you're getting by playing with a big topper. Once you have adjusted maximum distance with no elevation, you push up 1 ring. That is to give yourself a little bit extra distance here with this drive. And then you're going to see that this one is going to come very nicely, and only using 6 bars of topspin is going to put us into a very nice and consistent distance. 400 yards-ish, but as we now play to the left, the yardage does not really give us any value. So in the end, look for the distance where your club is, because if you go to 400 yards more to the right or more to the left, it's going to be different distance towards the pin. But you're going to be in somewhere around in between minimum and medium distance, which is 25% on a slider. And you play that one without any elevation, no spin whatsoever, and aim for the pin. Make sure with a Thorn level 7 or with any other short iron that doesn't give you a ball guideline that is worth using, then leave yourself a little short so you don't come in too hot right at the pin for a nice little eagle here on hole number 4. So for hole number 5, I'm going to give you 2 options here, or let's say like this. The first one is more called a birdie route. And here is where we're going to play with a long iron bouncing up towards the pin, and we're going to use approximately 1.5 to 2 bars of topspin with 3 bars of side spin to the right. I would like for us to aim approximately 1 green square to the right of the pin, and now I aim for the pin, and this shot is not going to go as I wanted to. Now, look for the first number in the box to the right, 20%. So maximum distance plus 20% is what we're playing this first option 4. So we are going to bounce on the fairway. Getting it up to the green is going to be a crappy shot and needs tweaking, but we're getting there, getting ourselves a nice little birdie. Second shot, which I do recommend, but this is only for those of you having sniper level 9 or more, because you need 4.2 bars topspin. So we're going to use 4.2 bars topspin and as much side spin to the right possible, minimum distance plus 5%. And now we go for the rough bump. I've hit great right, I've hit great left, and I've still clipped the rough, so you don't have to be concerned about that. And this is by far the absolute best chance, making a hole-in-one here on hole number 5. But now you may be wondering, why do Tommy use 5% extra for the shot going for the rough bump and 20 when going for the long iron? It's because you can use a different elevation and get to the same result. And also, playing for a rough bump takes away the secondary bounce effect and all the bounces. And now when we are bouncing with a long iron, we're gonna get bounce and we're gonna get bounce and we're gonna get bounce. And that's always going to be tricky. So have that in mind. That's why we do have 2 numbers in the info box to the right. Rough bump, best chance. Long iron, safe birdie. Hole number 6 is, in my opinion, a pretty boring hole. We're playing for the eagle and nothing else. 4.5 bar topspin, and we're going to play as well with side spin to the right. And here, when I started playing this hole, I was kind of like, could we find a way on the left hand side where we could see ourselves making an albatross? But no. And it's basically just using 4.5 bar topspin and as much side spin to the right. If you have more topspin on your club, I would advise you to not use more than 7 to make sure you're not rolling into the rough with a major glitch or something like that. Maximum distance plus 10, and once we're done, we're going to push up our target approximately 3 to 4 rings. It all depends on how close you yourself want to be to the rough line there on top. We do want to gain as much distance as possible, that's pretty clear, but at the same time we don't want to risk clipping the rough by any means. 10% over adjustment, and that's going to put ourselves up playing with a Cataclysm or the big dog. And the reason we play with any of those clubs is because those two gives us the most power, or like the most distance, because we're just going to get this one on green. And look, even though we're using the Cataclysm, we will still have some distance left for the pin, and in some cases we might need to play with overpower. So you really need to be focused and look at how far did you get with your drive. And in the end, using around 1 ball to 1.5 ball curl to the left, also something you will have to apply feeling on, because in the end I cannot say to you every single time how much curl and if you need overpower. So you have to figure those stuff out yourself as well. So there we do have a boring hole 6, and now take the eagle and run to hole 7. For hole number 7, I'm going to go with one of my favorite approaches in this tournament. That is to go with the rough bump. You can play with almost whatever quarterback you have. 4 bars of backspin. Let the tip of the yellow ring just be by the rough there. And now I play, in this example, maximum distance with no elevation. That is to just try and to find what elevation we want to go with. A kingmaker to reduce the wind. And the beauty with this rough bump attempt here is that we do have a crosswind. Then we don't have to compensate for like a gaining distance or losing distance, adjusting to a different height or different low point on the green or on the fairway. 5% extra, we just missed that one, so we need maximum distance plus 5%. And then we're going to be there, and we're gonna get ourselves some nice little drops here on hole number 7. Okay, so now play with a power 5 ball, use as much topspin as possible, combined with the club that gives you the most distance. And here I play with a Thor's Hammer level 6. It might be for you an Apocalypse, it might be for someone else an extra mile, but the thing that I want to get to here, use the driver that gives you the most topspin together with distance. So, and then you choose from there. Berserker Ball, stretch out your target, Get your ball to just bounce in the rough, roll out on the fairway, giving yourself an approach with either the short iron, or if you roll more, then you're going to get a wedge. 20% over adjustment with the drive, adjust, push up to max, and then you use max overpower. Second shot here, we're playing with the Thorn, as you can see. Now I play this one medium distance with a 30% over adjustment, which is 5 rings. And in the end, this is a very tough shot, even though we played with our short iron, and I'm very happy to get this one in the hole for a nice little eagle. Tough one here on hole 8. It looks very easy though. The drive is easy, but then in the end, as we cannot get to the second shot at the same place all the time, then it's going to be hard. Really pay attention to the elevation, but let's get in and get that eagle. Last but not least, we're going to play hole number 9. Here we're going to use 4.5 bar topspin and as much side spin to the left possible. But have in mind, I play with an extra level 7. You might play with a driver that gives you more topspin, but you play the same way. The only thing you take away is the overpower. So maximum distance plus 10%, push up to max, but stay away from overpower if you have more than 4.5 bar topspin. Otherwise, you might risk rolling too far into the rough, and then it's going to be a massive bummer, as we're going to not be getting the albatross. At least not as easy as we wanted to. 4 to 4.5 bar backspin, and now I'm looking for the funnel. There is a funnel here, and to know if there is a funnel or not, is that you go back and forth, and then you're going to notice that the tip of the ball guideline is stuck. But in the end, I do aim slightly too much to the right here, and just need to aim a little bit more to the left, then we would be having this one in our bag. 5% over adjustment for the second shot. Good attempt and good opportunity for an albatross. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this playthrough for Pro. A little bit late, but due to holiday and we're celebrating Christmas, it was time to get it out today. Hope you enjoyed it and hope it's going to help. I do believe that you're going to get some drops by using these approaches. And in the end, the video here is sponsored by Golf Clash of Playdemic. Get the updated and ultimate tournament text guides on patreon.com/golfclashtommy. We do have the December special for 6 days more, so make sure that you do subscribe. And last but not least, Merry Christmas!